Hi everybody, this is Michael Collins, your instructor for managerial communications. Hope you guys are having a good week. I wanted to walk you through the first part of our case analysis and demonstrate to you the proper way to do a case. So this is the first one that we're going to do. It's from one of the Harvard Business School cases. They produce about 1 million of these every year. It's a pretty small one, considering that this is a graduate level course. This is normally one used for an undergraduate course, but we'll go with this one anyway. The title of the case is Millennium Media and John Vorenberg. Right away, I want you to, here's how I want you to proceed, is read the entire case. So I think it's about 5 pages long. Read it one time through, so like so. Make note of all who the key actors are, and then you'll get to the end. Now, once you read it through once, this is how I actually want you to do it. Consider all the who, what, when, where, why, and how. That's the essential information, particularly the key actors. You'll see two right here, Millennium Media and John Vorenberg. Obviously, John Vorenberg is your most important actor in this story. Case analysis is essentially a story. And what you do is you take on the role of the lead actor, which in this case will be John Vorenberg, and you decide what it is that you wish to do. Usually you have a couple of choices to make, and they're almost always bad. You have to pick the least worst one, and what you're going to be doing is justifying your decision. Now I'll show you the format for how we do that. But notice what I've done here. I've read the case one time. I've gone through it with I don't know, I call it purple, but that's because I'm a guy. You guys may have a different color for this, but anyway, I've gone through this. And usually it's best to pay particular attention to the first and the last paragraphs because of the case, because that's where you're going to find all the essential information. And you notice here, I've highlighted this part. John learned on Monday that 3 individuals who he'd helped to recruit to Millennium were leaving for opportunities at a competitor. 2 were people of color with excellent credentials, and he thought great futures at Millennium. The third was a white male who'd been recruited from outside the company for a vice president's position in marketing. So right away, you're led to conclude that this is a bad thing. He's worried about this, that talented people are leaving his company. 2, that provided some diversity and talent, and 1 was just somebody who was being groomed for a top spot. So obviously there are issues here. Then it goes through the key details that will help you with your analysis. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that because this is something you should be doing. But again, it goes through all the who, what, when, where, why, how. And once you get to that, then you pretty much have the answer to all your questions. So let's scroll through this. And then notice how I made notes on the side here. Creative nature was she was positive. The benefit that she added to the company was crushing her creativity. She felt like she was forgotten. And then I highlighted a key point that this actress tried to underscore. Now keep in mind that the viewpoints of all of the actors are not necessarily valid. They do throw some red herrings out there. So it's up to you to figure out what that is. And that may involve outside research or carefully reading the case. Because as I said, sometimes they do provide some misdirection in there to lead you a direction and make you assume that something is what it is, but it may not be. So just a word to the wise, okay? Again, more details highlighted. How does all this interact with Millennium Media and Vernberg? More notes, growing pains, cultural conflicts. And then we get to the bottom. Key question, almost always in the last paragraph. John wondered what he should do and how to work with executives and senior managers to change Millennium Media without losing its edge. That's essentially everything what you have right there. Is after you read this case, it's going to become very clear to you that you have a growing company that wants to keep the best of what it has, but also they have to expand, change the way they do business a bit, and that involves creating a diverse climate, bringing in new talent, and reaching into new markets. So you have the tension between a good outfit that you currently have now, but then if you're not changing, you're stagnating. And if you're stagnating, you're dying. So things have to change. But how do you manage that change? Okay? So again, read through the entire document. Highlight the key details. First and last paragraphs are almost always critical toward understanding. Okay, so let's go to how we're going to do this. This is, let me create a little bit bigger here. A little bit bigger more. Okay, so this is how you're going to solve the problem. You're going to read this case, and by a page and a half, you're going to follow this format exactly. This is a job aid to assist you, but the first thing you're going to do is define and state the business problem specifically. And that'll go right here. One of the things that people almost always do is they want to write long-winded narrative to help the reader understand. That is exactly the wrong way to do it. In the past, you've become accustomed, particularly if you're an English major, that more is better. In this case, more is worse. You want to help the reader understand exactly what they need to know in the shortest amount of space. The very maximum that you'll be allowed to produce in a case is 1.5 pages with 1-inch margins on each side, 11 or 12 font. And you can go single space or double space. It's up to you. If you can get it done in double space, power to you, but most people can't. So anyway, I'm going to write this in memo format. Date to me, from you, subject John Vernberg of Millennium Media. And you're going to talk about the problem statement. You're going to state your purpose, the short-term and the long-term goals. So this should have 2 components. What do you want to do to solve immediately? What is your long-term goal? And then to solve the problem, you're going to come up with 2 solutions. You're going to provide a short sentence, maybe 2, summary of what you propose, the pros and the cons of each. Then you come up with a recommended solution. And then about action steps. You're going to tell us how you're going to implement this plan. Sounds pretty easy, right? So let me provide you with a few examples of good case analysis and better case analysis. So let's go with that. All right. So take a look here. Millennium Media. Okay, first of all, what's missing right away? We don't have the to, from, so I don't know who this belongs to. All right. So it's essential that we follow the memo format. Millennium Media Inc. We also have Inc. in caps. Not necessary. Has a lack of diversity among Latino, Black, and Asian. Asian should be plural, resulting in employees not having fair opportunities to advance in the company. Okay. That is conjecture. We don't know that for sure. There's no plurals here. Millennium Media doesn't have any evaluation employee. It's poorly written. Now, I understand this is a graduate level course, but I'm providing you with some samples that came from an undergraduate course. So, purpose and objectives, again, really poorly written. Should opening fair opportunities for minorities. You can see spell check is pretty horrible. The format is not bad, but you can see that there's a lot to be done here. Recommended solution action steps. Again, HR should be caps. Announce the HR and president of new hiring process, so on and so forth. They have a pretty fair idea what needs to be done. They just really don't do a very good job of getting us there. So let's clear this one, all right? So now this one, sample 2. Look at this one. Obviously the format is completely wrong. Looks nice, but that's not what we want. What we're looking for is, again, a memo format, to, from, subject, to, from, and so on and so forth, and the date. Let's go back here. Date, which is whatever date it is, to, me, from, you, subject, John Vorenberg and Millennium Media. So, let's see. So, where were we? Okay, so obviously that doesn't meet that criteria. That little line looks really nice. There are no subheaders here, which provide organization for the reader. It doesn't follow the format. Long-winded narrative. Again, I told you bullet points are appreciated and encouraged. And it goes over a page and a half. So this would definitely not meet the criteria, all right? So this would be a failure for sure. All right. Here's a sample 3. Again, key issues is not what we're looking for. There's no memo format. Got some pretty nice stuff here, key stakeholders and so forth, but that's not what was asked. Problem statement, we're looking for just 1 or 2 sentences. In journalism, there's a thing called the summary lead, and it provides all the essential information in the first sentence or 2. It contains all the who, what, when, where, why, how. This has way too much information. Way too much. Should be able to get it done in 2 sentences. Short-term objectives, hold more open meetings, have company lunches that facilitate mingling. No, that's not a short-term objective. The short-term objective is stop the bleeding, stop the people from exiting. Long-term objective would obviously be let's create a culture that's inclusive and keeps people around. We want to keep the old talent that brought us to where we were, to the point where we are, but we also want to expand to include new markets and new personnel that will help us to get to the direction we want to go. Again, also look at the size of this font. It's horrible, Calibri 9. Can't read it. So we're looking for 11 and 12. This is 2 full pages of text. So clearly this person can't say what they need to say in a page and a half. Now, keep in mind this is a business focus. So economy of words is essential. And this clearly demonstrates that they don't have that capacity yet. So, all right. All right, so let's look at this one. Problem statement, no to, from, no memo format. Current crop of employees are leaving the company for rival company positions. Yeah, that's mostly it, but again, there are better ways to say it. You can add more details. All bullet points here goes a little bit over a page and a half, and keep in mind that will be strictly adhered to, but it's all bullet points. So this should be pared down considerably. This seems okay. So anyway, all right. So let's go from there. All right. So let me see if I can find my. There we go. Let's open this guy up. All right. So here's a good example of a case. And if I don't mind saying so, I wrote this one myself. And it's the date to me from Beyonce Knowles. She was once a student of mine. Pretty good student. Subject Millennium Media case submission. Okay. So let's look at the problem statement. It has all the key essential information here. John Vernberg, who, CEO Millennium Media, what, internationally emerging company, where, and emerging is when, company undergoing significant growing pains, blah, blah, blah. The culture of this creative business is evolving, and it seems clear there are significant problems with the old methods. The exodus of new talent seems to indicate a change of culture is required. Seems to indicate. Now keep in mind that there's the how portion of it. That it seems, doesn't mean that's the case. So the short-term goal, short sentence, determinant opinion, the human resources director has merit, blah, blah. Are there cultural roadblocks preventing the company from retaining talent, short-circuiting recruiting efforts, so forth. Long-term goal. In any business, is continued prosperity and expansion of the company. This is done by ensuring successful efforts at culturally diverse recruitment, maintaining fresh creative edge in production, increasing sales, always. So here's a couple of solutions. These are mine. Perform a cultural audit. Solution 2, I provide pros and cons. Interview each unit president. Retain and fire based on perceptions of their ability to adapt to change. I went with solution number 1. Attempting to purge old leadership. The cultural audit is the first step toward that end. Once you read this case, it's going to be clear to you that there are pluses and minuses to a lot of things. Firing the old guard is not going to help you because they can go to work for the old for your competitors as well. They have a lot of information, so keep that in mind. Then you'll have your action steps. Hire a consulting firm to assess Millennium Media's cultural climate. Hire a headhunting agency to recruit diverse talent to meet Millennium's needs. And then take a more active role ensuring diversity and inclusion are observed by asking for self-audit reports from unit presidents. So let's take it back down a little bit. You can see this did not exceed a page and a half. We met the format criteria. Headers, subheaders, tells you exactly what you need to know, where it is. We have the good margins. And this disappears, by the way, whenever these comments are closed. So I realized that there's supposed to be 1-inch margins on the right side, and there are. So anyway, so you said what you needed to say in a page and a half. And this is what I expect from all of you in all the cases that you're going to be doing. Now, granted, there are 2 other cases that you're going to be getting from your textbook. There will be some questions back there and that sort of thing. Don't care about any of the questions. All I care about is the page and a half case analysis, exactly the same format, the same style that you see here. More is not better. We're looking for a page and a half, short and punchy, succinct, very businesslike, easy to find information that provides good analysis and great information in a short amount of space. Okay, hopefully that answers your questions. If you have any questions beyond that, please let me know and we'll go from there. But this is the style and the format that I will expect all of you to adhere to. So thanks very much. Let me know if you have any issues.